Chapter 1 Introduction to Stoicism. Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy founded in the early 3rd century BCE by Zeno of Citium, has endured through centuries, quietly influencing some of history's greatest minds. Its resurgence in the modern world is due in part to its practicality and adaptability, qualities desperately needed in today's complex, uncertain environment. At its heart, Stoicism teaches that while we cannot control external events, we can control our internal responses. It emphasizes virtue, reason, and nature as the path to a flourishing life. Eudaimonia. The Stoics aim to achieve a serene and resilient state of being, unswayed by pleasure or pain. 3 of the most prominent figures in Stoic philosophy include Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and author of Meditations. His reflections on duty, discipline, and the transience of life reveal a deep commitment to Stoic ideals. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher whose teachings focused on personal freedom through rational self-mastery. Seneca, a wealthy Roman statesman and advisor to Nero. Seneca's essays and letters offer guidance on ethics, grief, anger, and how to live well. These thinkers did not merely theorize about virtue, they lived it. They believed that philosophy was not just for contemplation but for action. Stoicism was their operating system for life. Why Stoicism is relevant today. In a world full of distractions, rapid change, and unpredictable events, Stoicism offers a framework to navigate life with purpose and tranquility. Its emphasis on self-discipline, mindfulness, and ethical living resonates with entrepreneurs, leaders, athletes, and individuals seeking meaning beyond material success. With the rise of mental health awareness, Stoicism's focus on cognitive reframing, emotional control, and resilience provides practical tools for emotional intelligence and psychological well-being. As we embark on the journey to master the 3 C's of Stoicism, control, courage, and clarity, we step into a tradition that has helped millions not just survive, but thrive. These 3 pillars are drawn from core Stoic principles and serve as a contemporary interpretation of the ancient teachings. This book aims to illuminate these pillars, showing how to incorporate them into every aspect of life, from daily routines and decision-making to leadership and relationships. By doing so, you'll not only understand Stoicism intellectually, but begin to live it authentically. Chapter 2 The Philosophy and Legacy of Stoicism. Stoicism originated in Athens around 300 BCE. Its founder, Zeno of Citium, began teaching in the Stoa, the painted porch, from which the philosophy takes its name. Drawing on the teachings of earlier philosophers like Socrates and the Cynics, Stoicism would evolve into a robust ethical and metaphysical system that spread across the Greco-Roman world. Core tenets of Stoic philosophy. Stoic philosophy can be broken into 3 disciplines: logic, physics, and ethics. Logic, not merely formal reasoning, but also the study of perception and cognition. The Stoics taught that reason is humanity's highest faculty, and logic helps us understand how to think clearly and correctly. Physics, the study of nature, including the universe and our place within it. The Stoics saw the cosmos as an ordered, rational whole, governed by divine reason, logos. Ethics, the central component of Stoicism. Ethics is where Stoicism becomes most practical. It is the study of how to live well in accordance with nature and reason. At the core of Stoic ethics is the belief that virtue is the only true good, and that everything else, wealth, health, reputation, is indifferent in comparison. This radical perspective reframes how we evaluate success, failure, pleasure, and pain. Living in accordance with nature. To the Stoics, living according to nature meant more than just embracing the natural world. It meant living in accordance with human nature, which is rational, social, and moral. Stoics believe that we are all parts of a greater whole, connected by shared reason. Thus, the virtuous life is one lived in harmony with the world and with our fellow human beings. The legacy of the Stoics. Despite their ancient origins, the works of the Stoics have had a profound and lasting influence. Early Christianity was shaped in part by Stoic moral philosophy. Enlightenment thinkers like Immanuel Kant and Adam Smith drew upon Stoic ideas. Modern psychology, especially cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, shares many techniques with Stoic practices, such as identifying and challenging irrational beliefs. The practical writings of Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius continue to be read widely today. Their works are used in leadership training, mental health therapies, military education, and personal development programs. Why the legacy endures. Stoicism's enduring appeal lies in its timeless wisdom. It provides a roadmap for navigating adversity, achieving inner peace, and living a life of purpose. In an age of consumerism, noise, and distraction, Stoicism calls us back to simplicity, self-control, and the pursuit of virtue over pleasure. The Stoics taught that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can always control how we respond. This simple, profound insight forms the basis of the three C's: control, courage, and clarity, and offers a path to mastery in life. In the next chapter, we'll explore how the 3Cs framework distills the essence of Stoic practice and provides a foundation for living with strength, resilience, and wisdom. Chapter 3. Understanding the 3Cs framework. The philosophy of Stoicism is both rich and practical. While rooted in deep metaphysical and ethical ideas, its real power lies in its applicability to daily life. The 3Us, control, courage, and clarity, are a modern interpretation of Stoic principles designed to help individuals internalize and practice Stoicism consistently. They represent three essential domains of human behavior and mindset that Stoicism touches profoundly. Why the 3Cs? The 3Cs framework is an accessible way to organize Stoic practices around core actions and mindsets. It simplifies the sometimes abstract teachings of Stoicism into actionable paths. Control helps us focus only on what is within our power. Courage emboldens us to act with virtue even in adversity. Clarity sharpens our perception so we can see the world and ourselves as they truly are. These three principles are not separate or sequential, they are interwoven. Mastery of one strengthens the others. Let's briefly introduce each pillar before exploring them in detail in subsequent chapters. Control, the sphere of power. Epictetus famously declared, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." This statement is foundational to Stoic thought. Recognizing what we can and cannot control is essential to achieving tranquility. Control involves the ability to accept external events with equanimity. Focus energy on inner values, choices, and character. Let go of outcomes, anchoring oneself in right intention and action. When we try to control the uncontrollable, we generate anxiety, resentment, and frustration. But by limiting our concern to what lies within our control, our judgments, actions, and attitudes, we gain psychological freedom. Courage, the virtue in action. Courage is the will to act virtuously despite fear, pain, or adversity. It's the Stoic response to challenges, choosing what is right over what is easy. In a Stoic context, courage is not mere bravado. It is moral fortitude. It means speaking the truth even when it's unpopular, enduring hardship with dignity, taking initiative in the face of uncertainty. Without courage, knowledge and ethics remain inert. Courage activates Stoic wisdom and transforms it into a force for change. Clarity, the eye of wisdom. The final C, clarity, is about perceiving reality accurately and without distortion. Stoics emphasize the importance of reasoned judgment and awareness of our mental filters. Clarity includes understanding the impermanent and interdependent nature of life, distinguishing between opinion and fact, practicing mindfulness and self-reflection. Clarity allows us to navigate the complexities of life with steadiness and insight. It guards against delusion, emotional reactivity, and self-deception. The 3Cs in practice. These three qualities, control, courage, and clarity, function as a toolkit. They are not ends in themselves, but methods for living in accordance with nature and reason. They help you answer, what can I influence here? What is the virtuous action? What am I seeing clearly or failing to? Together, the 3Cs form a cycle of Stoic mastery. Control grounds you. Courage moves you. Clarity guides you. In the following chapters, we will explore each C in depth, including its philosophical foundations, practical applications, and daily exercises. You'll learn how to cultivate these attributes in your own life and how they reinforce one another to create resilience, purpose, and peace. Let us now begin with the first pillar, control. Chapter 4, Control, the first pillar. At the heart of Stoic thought lies a single, powerful distinction, the division between what is in our control and what is not. Epictetus opens his Enchiridion with this principle, framing it as the key to human freedom. This foundational insight forms the core of the first pillar of the 3Cs, control. The dichotomy of control? The Stoics taught that while we cannot influence external events, weather, traffic, the opinions of others, we have full agency over our inner domain, our judgments, desires, and choices. This is not just a helpful tip, it is the basis for peace of mind. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. Epictetus. To practice this insight means we cease wasting energy resisting reality or trying to bend the world to our will. Instead, we focus on what truly belongs to us, our will, our attitude, and our behavior. Applying the principle. The modern world offers countless examples of misplaced control. Obsessing over likes on social media. Worrying about economic downturns. Getting angry at traffic or rude behavior. When we internalize the Stoic principle, we reframe these events. The external world becomes the arena in which we exercise our character, not a source of suffering. Daily practice, the control inventory. To train this mindset, begin each day with a simple inventory. What is within my control today? For example, my focus, effort, choices. What is not? For example, how others react, outcomes, timing. Then ask, how can I bring excellence only to what is mine? This practice not only frees you from unnecessary anxiety, but channels your energy where it matters most. Letting go of outcomes. One of the greatest challenges in mastering control is detaching from outcomes. The Stoics taught that we should care deeply about what we do, but not cling to what happens next. The results are up to fate, fortune, or the gods, but our preparation, diligence, and virtue are ours. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." This means, prepare for meetings, but don't obsess over how they go. Give your best in a relationship, but release the need to control the other person's response. Work hard at your craft, but let go of fame or success. Control and emotional regulation. The mastery of control doesn't just lead to productivity, it leads to equanimity. When you accept reality and act from your highest values, you become less reactive. Instead of anger at insults, you cultivate indifference. Fear of failure, you focus on effort. Envy of others' success, you measure yourself by your integrity. This is not suppression of emotion, but a re-education of the emotional system to respond wisely. The control mindset in relationships. Nowhere is the challenge of control more evident than in human relationships. We want others to change, understand, apologize, or love us in a certain way. But the Stoics remind us, their choices are not ours to command. You can speak your truth kindly, set boundaries with firmness, offer love unconditionally, but you cannot force understanding, respect, or reciprocation. Peace comes when you let go of trying. Control as discipline and freedom. Paradoxically, to practice control is to become truly free. When you no longer fear loss, rejection, or failure, you are empowered to live according to your principles. Control liberates you from external validation and anchors your worth in your character. The disciplined Stoic does not crave tranquility, they create it by refusing to be ruled by what they cannot command. Exercises for mastering control. Morning premeditation. Visualize potential disruptions in your day and prepare your mindset to meet them with calm and wisdom. Evening review. Reflect on moments you acted from control versus when you lost it. What can you learn? Internal versus external journaling. Each day, split a page into 2 columns, what you controlled and what you didn't. Celebrate fidelity to your inner domain. Voluntary discomfort. Occasionally expose yourself to mild discomfort, cold showers, fasting, delayed gratification, to train your will. Conclusion: the quiet power of control. Control, as the Stoics saw it, is not dominance or rigidity. It is the art of reigning over the one kingdom that is yours, your mind. When you master this realm, you become unshakable. Next, we'll turn to the second pillar, courage, which empowers you to act with integrity and strength even in the face of fear and uncertainty. Chapter 5. Courage, the second pillar. If control is the compass that keeps us grounded, then courage is the engine that drives us forward. Courage is not merely the absence of fear, it is action in the face of it. For the Stoics, courage is a foundational virtue, inseparable from wisdom, justice, and temperance. It is the fuel that powers us to live in accordance with our principles, even when doing so is uncomfortable, risky, or dangerous. Defining Stoic courage. In the Stoic framework, courage takes many forms. Physical bravery in battle or danger. Moral courage to stand for what is right. Psychological resilience in the face of hardship. Seneca wrote, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." Indeed, every moment we choose reason over impulse, virtue over convenience, or justice over silence, we display the kind of courage Stoicism values. The anatomy of courage. Courage is composed of 3 elements. Perception of risk or adversity. Recognizing the challenge. Moral judgment. Knowing what the right action is. Commitment to act. Moving forward despite fear or uncertainty. True courage is not reckless, it is informed by reason. It does not ignore fear, it acknowledges it and acts anyway. Courage in the face of fear. Fear is natural. The Stoics never denied this, but they believed we must learn to examine fear and understand its causes. Is it fear of harm, loss, rejection, death? Is the fear rational or exaggerated? Does avoiding this fear lead us away from virtue? Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself that what he feared was just a figment of thought, not reality. Today I escaped anxiety. Or no, I discarded it because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside. Practicing moral courage. Moral courage often demands we speak the truth in rooms where silence is safer. Defend those who cannot defend themselves. Take responsibility when it would be easier to blame others. This courage might not make headlines, but it shapes a life of integrity. It is found in leaders who uphold fairness, parents who teach discipline with compassion, and individuals who resist peer pressure to remain true to their values. Courage and endurance. Seneca distinguished between 2 kinds of courage, active bravery and passive endurance. The former is bold and confrontational, the latter is quiet and steadfast. Both are essential. Courage means enduring illness with dignity, navigating unemployment without bitterness, facing aging or death with peace. Each test is an opportunity to reaffirm one's commitment to the Stoic path. Daily practice, the courage drill. To develop courage, practice micro-bravery daily. Have a difficult conversation. Ask for what you need. Admit a mistake. Build your tolerance for discomfort. Remind yourself that strength is forged through struggle. Just as muscles grow through resistance, so too does character. Voluntary discomfort and courage. Epictetus encouraged the practice of voluntary hardship as a form of courage training. Wear simple clothes. Sleep on the floor. Go a day without complaining. By doing so, we learn that comfort is not a necessity, and fear of losing it is no reason to compromise our values. Courage in modern life. In today's world, courage means saying no to unethical work practices, creating art that challenges norms, starting over after failure. Everyday heroes are not defined by medals or headlines. They are those who stay kind in cruelty, calm in chaos, and true when it would be easier not to be. Exercises for mastering courage. Fear inventory. List your fears. Examine their root. What virtue does each fear test? Risk mapping. Identify one virtuous action you've avoided due to fear. Plan how to take it. Courageous role models. Read about Stoics like Cato or modern figures who inspire courage. Reflect on what you can emulate. The no challenge. Practice saying no when necessary to uphold your boundaries. Conclusion. The heart of virtue. Courage, in the Stoic view, is not optional. It is the lifeblood of a virtuous life. Without it, control and clarity remain untested theories. But when courage is present, even the most difficult path becomes walkable. To live courageously is to live aligned with nature, reason, and purpose. In the next chapter, we'll explore clarity, the third C, which illuminates the way forward with perception and insight. Chapter 6. Clarity, the third pillar. Clarity, the final pillar of the three Cs of Stoicism, is the power of clear perception. It is what allows us to see the world as it is, rather than how we wish or fear it to be. Where control grounds us and courage moves us, clarity guides us. It is the Stoic antidote to illusion, bias, and impulsiveness. What is clarity? In Stoic thought, clarity is not just mental focus, it is philosophical lucidity. It is the cultivation of rational thought, objective assessment, and inner stillness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it, and it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now." Clarity means we question our judgments and strip away assumptions. It is not apathy, but the ability to respond to life without the fog of unchecked emotion. The importance of clear thinking. Life bombards us with distractions, news cycles, social media, constant stimuli. Without clarity, we become reactive, confused, and led astray by appearances. The Stoics practiced a form of mental hygiene. Examining thoughts for distortions. Seeking the truth in every situation. Remaining skeptical of first impressions. Clarity allows us to respond instead of react. Make decisions rooted in reason. Discern what matters and what doesn't. Obstacles to clarity. Passions and emotions. Not that Stoics rejected emotion, but they sought to master passions that obscure reason, anger, envy, panic. Cognitive biases, confirmation bias, negativity bias, and social comparison all cloud judgment. Desire and aversion. Wanting things too intensely or fearing their loss narrows perception. To gain clarity, one must remove these filters. Practicing clarity, the view from above. The view from above is a classic Stoic exercise. Imagine zooming out from your current situation, from your city, to your country, to Earth, and then the stars. See your problem in the context of the vast cosmos. See yourself not as the center, but as part of a larger whole. This practice shifts perspective, reduces ego, and fosters wisdom. The role of logic and philosophy. Clarity also stems from rational discipline. The Stoics were masters of logic, and they used it to analyze arguments, refute irrational fears, determine what is truly good. When faced with a dilemma, they asked, "What is under my control? What is the virtuous response? What judgment am I making?" These questions cut through emotional noise and bring insight. Clarity in emotional regulation. Clarity doesn't eliminate emotion, it gives it a healthy channel. A Stoic does not repress grief or disappointment but understands them. As Epictetus said, it's not events that disturb people, it's their judgments about them. With clarity, we grieve without despair, love without attachment, hope without dependency, clarity in decision-making. Every choice is a test of clarity. To decide wisely, we must see the situation fully, remove ego and desire, ask, what would a wise person do? Stoic clarity is not about being perfect, it's about being present, thoughtful, and objective. Daily practice, the clarity cleanse. Morning intentions. Start the day with a reminder. I will observe without judgment. I will question my thoughts. Thought audit. At midday, write down the strongest thought you've had. Examine its truth. Is it rational, helpful, grounded? Evening reflection. Ask, where did I jump to conclusions today? What assumptions clouded my view? Silence and stillness. Clarity requires mental stillness. In a loud world, silence is revolutionary. Meditate. Walk without your phone. Write without editing. Be with your mind. Stillness reveals what noise hides. The clarity of death. Finally, clarity is seeing that all is transient. Memento mori, the practice of remembering death, brings piercing insight. It strips away trivialities and helps us focus on what matters. Integrity, kindness, wisdom. When you remember death, life becomes clearer. Conclusion, the light that guides. Clarity is the light that reveals the path. It frees us from delusion, reactivity, and ego. With clarity, we act with purpose. We see others with compassion. We live in accordance with nature. In mastering clarity, the Stoic finds peace, not because the world is perfect, but because they see it as it is. Next, we'll explore how to unite control, courage, and clarity into daily practices that ground and transform our lives. Chapter 7. Daily Practices to Master the 3 Cs. Stoicism is a philosophy of action. Its power lies not in abstract ideas, but in its ability to transform lives through disciplined practice. In this chapter, we explore daily routines and exercises designed to cultivate control, courage, and clarity, the 3 Cs of Stoic mastery. The importance of repetition and routine. Like physical training, philosophical training requires consistency. As Musonius Rufus noted, philosophy should be practiced daily, even hourly, if one is to improve. This commitment to practice makes Stoicism more than theory, it becomes a way of life. Morning routine. Prepare the mind. Morning reflection. Premeditatio malorum. Visualize the day ahead. Anticipate difficulties, traffic, conflict, delays. Rehearse a virtuous response to each. Marcus Aurelius began each day preparing for rudeness and chaos, not to feel pessimistic, but to remain unfazed. Set intentions. Identify your top 3 Stoic virtues to practice today. Example: patience with colleagues, courage in speaking truth, clarity in decision-making. Daily reading. Read one passage from Epictetus, Seneca, or Aurelius. Reflect on how it applies to your day. Midday check-in, reality alignment, control audit. List any frustrations so far. Ask, which part of this situation is under my control? Realign your focus to what you can affect. Courage activation. Identify one act of micro-bravery you've taken today. Plan one courageous act for the afternoon. Clarity reset. Take 5 minutes for stillness or mindful walking. Ask, what story am I telling myself that may not be true? Evening routine, reflection and reinforcement. Evening review, hodos anektos. What did I do well today? Where did I fall short? What can I do better tomorrow? Gratitude practice. List 3 things you're grateful for. Frame them in terms of virtue. I'm grateful I stayed calm when provoked. Memento mori reflection. Reflect on mortality. Ask, if this were my last day, did I live it with virtue? Weekly practices for the 3 Cs. Control. Fast from technology 1 day per week. Practice saying no to one desire or impulse. Courage. Take on one task you've been avoiding. Speak up where you've stayed silent. Clarity. Do a digital detox. Journal with the prompt, what story do I believe that might not be true? Tools and techniques for practice. Stoic journal. Keep a morning and evening journal. Track your application of the 3Cs. Accountability partner. Share your Stoic goals with a trusted friend. Check in weekly. Visualization. Visualize worst-case scenarios. Visualize your ideal Stoic response. The coin exercise. Carry a coin or object that reminds you of the 3Cs. Touch it when needing a moment to pause. Meditations and affirmations. Morning. Today I will act only on what I control. I will meet fear with courage. I will see clearly. Midday. Nothing outside me can disturb me, only my judgment. Evening. I live this day with presence. Tomorrow is another step. Practicing in community. While Stoicism emphasizes individual virtue, community strengthens commitment. Join a Stoic group, attend a philosophy meetup, or share your journey online. Others' insights can sharpen your own. Conclusion. The power of practice. Philosophy without practice is empty. The 3Cs become second nature not through study alone, but through daily action. Control your responses. Act with courage. See with clarity. With daily practice, Stoicism becomes more than a guide. It becomes your way of being. In the next chapter, we explore how to integrate the 3Cs into every sphere of modern life. Chapter 8. Integrating the 3Cs into modern life. Philosophy is most potent when it meets the rhythm of daily life. The 3Cs of Stoicism, control, courage, and clarity, are not abstract ideals to ponder in isolation. They are practical tools to help us navigate the modern world's complexity with steadiness and grace. This chapter explores how to integrate each C into various domains of contemporary living. Control in a chaotic world. In the digital age, information overload, algorithmic influence, and constant comparison threaten our inner balance. Practicing control means choosing how to respond rather than reacting blindly. Digital boundaries. Silence notifications. Choose intentional engagement with technology. Take regular control breaks, moments to pause and ask, is this in my control? Financial responsibility. Apply Stoic principles to money management. Budgeting, saving, and detachment from material excess cultivate both control and peace of mind. Health and discipline. Choose what you eat, how you move, and how you sleep with deliberation. These are often within our power and foundational to sustain Stoic practice. Courage in a comfortable society. Modern life can lull us into comfort and complacency. Practicing courage means resisting the pull of ease in favor of truth, integrity, and growth. Speaking up at work. When facing ethical dilemmas or injustices, courage is choosing the right over the easy. Prepare, speak respectfully, and accept outcomes with equanimity. Pursuing purpose. Many fear leaving the familiar. Courage might mean starting a new career, ending a toxic relationship, or starting therapy. Facing fear daily. Make a habit of doing one uncomfortable thing each day. Courage is a muscle. It strengthens with use. Clarity amidst noise. Our age is saturated with opinions, labels, and images. Practicing clarity means learning to think critically, question assumptions, and see beyond appearances. Media literacy. Read across perspectives. Seek original sources. Pause before sharing or reacting. Mindful consumption. Reflect before buying, watching, or scrolling. Ask, what value does this bring? Purposeful silence. Regularly disconnect. Use journaling, walking, or meditation to clear mental clutter and restore clarity. In relationships. Control. Don't try to change people. Focus on being the best version of yourself. Courage. Address conflict with honesty and respect. Avoiding tension often deepens it. Clarity. Listen deeply. Don't assume motives. Ask open questions. In career and work. Control. You can't control office politics or layoffs, but you can control your effort and ethics. Courage. Take initiative. Own your mistakes. Defend your values. Clarity. Don't confuse busyness with value. Work on what truly matters. In crisis and adversity. Control. Anchor in what you can do, even when much is outside your influence. Courage. Face pain, loss, and fear head-on. Avoidance prolongs suffering. Clarity. Find meaning in hardship. Ask, what is this teaching me about myself? In social and civic life, Stoicism does not require withdrawal from society. It demands wise participation. Volunteer or advocate for causes you believe in. Engage in public discourse with civility. Act in alignment with justice, even if unnoticed. The role of rituals and triggers. Use reminders to keep the 3Cs front of mind. A bracelet engraved with control, courage, clarity. Phone wallpapers or passwords that reinforce Stoic principles. A daily email or app with Stoic quotes. The integration mindset. True integration comes from viewing every situation as an opportunity to practice the 3Cs. Traffic jam, practice control. Difficult conversation, practice courage. Conflicting advice, seek clarity. Every challenge is a chance to grow. Conclusion. The everyday philosopher. You don't need to retreat to a mountaintop to live like a Stoic. The office, the kitchen, the commute, these are your training grounds. Integrate the 3Cs into every domain of life and become, moment by moment, the master of your fate, not because you control the world, but because you've mastered how you meet it. In the next chapter, we'll explore how these principles apply to leadership and decision-making. Chapter 9. Stoicism in Leadership and Decision-Making. In leadership, power often reveals character. Stoicism offers a powerful compass for those in positions of authority, helping them navigate uncertainty, conflict, and responsibility with wisdom. The 3Cs, control, courage, and clarity, are especially relevant for effective, ethical, and enduring leadership. Control, leading without micromanaging. A Stoic leader understands what they can and cannot control. Control your character, not others' choices. Influence team culture through your example rather than compulsion. Delegate effectively. Trust your team. Micromanaging stems from fear and a false belief in total control. Respond, don't react. In crises, the calmest leader sets the tone. Pause before making judgments. Courage, making tough calls with integrity. Courage is the ability to make hard decisions without yielding to fear, popularity, or pressure. Speak truth to power. Be willing to challenge superiors when justice is at stake. Uphold ethics over expediency. Long-term trust outweighs short-term gains. Lead by doing. Set the tone by modeling the courage you expect. Walk into difficult conversations, own mistakes, and defend what's right. Clarity, seeing the bigger picture. Leaders are often bombarded with information and opinions. Stoic clarity helps you discern signals from noise. Focus on core values and goals, not on gossip or trends. Seek diverse perspectives. Clarity comes from multiple angles. Invite challenge to your own ideas. Practice reflective decision-making. Take time to ask, what matters most? What outcome serves the greater good? Stoic leadership traits. Emotional intelligence. Mastering one's temper and fear earns others' trust. Long-term vision. A Stoic leader thinks in years, not moments. Service over ego. Leadership is stewardship, not self-glorification. Tools for Stoic leadership. Pre-mortem analysis. Ask what could go wrong with a plan and prepare accordingly. Post-mortem reflection. After action, reflect with honesty and humility. Journaling decisions. Track choices and their rationales to refine future thinking. Memento mori in leadership. Remember your time and influence are limited. Lead like it matters. Decision-making under pressure. The Stoic leader has a process. Pause. Create space between stimulus and response. Clarify. Define the core issue. Consult. Seek counsel, but remain independent in judgment. Act. Choose in alignment with reason and virtue. Own it. Accept responsibility, including unintended outcomes. Historical examples. Marcus Aurelius led the Roman Empire with a steady hand during war and plague, using his diary, now meditations, to stay centered. George Washington, inspired by Stoicism, he emphasized duty, restraint, and quiet strength. James Stockdale, as a POW, relied on Epictetus to endure captivity and maintain honor. Modern applications. Entrepreneurship. Use Stoic resilience to face failure. Politics. Govern with transparency, humility, and principle. Education and coaching. Develop others by embodying Stoic patience and presence. Conclusion. The Stoic leader. Leadership is not about control. It's about influence. Not about fear. It's about courage. Not about charisma. It's about clarity of purpose. The Stoic leader serves a higher cause, develops self-awareness, and empowers others. In the next chapter, we turn to the realm of personal relationships and how the 3Cs strengthen our deepest human bonds. Chapter 10. Stoicism and Personal Development and Relationships. At the heart of Stoic practice is the shaping of character, who we become in relation to ourselves and to others. This chapter explores how the 3Cs, control, courage, and clarity, can transform our inner lives and interpersonal dynamics, helping us live with greater purpose, harmony, and fulfillment. Control, the bedrock of self-mastery. Emotional regulation. Emotions arise naturally, but our response is within our control. Practice pausing before reacting. Use breath, reflection, or journaling to regain composure. Habits and discipline. Self-improvement stems from small, consistent choices. Control how you start and end your day. Focus on progress, not perfection. Self-talk. Our inner dialogue shapes how we see ourselves. Replace harshness with encouragement and accountability. Ask, is this thought helping me live according to virtue? Courage. Becoming who you truly are. Face your flaws. Acknowledge your weaknesses with honesty and resolve. Courage means looking in the mirror without flinching. Pursue growth. Stretch beyond your comfort zone. Whether learning a skill, forgiving yourself, or setting boundaries, growth demands bravery. Live authentically. Align actions with values, not with social approval. Let go of the need to please everyone. Clarity. Knowing yourself deeply. Self-inquiry. Regularly ask, what do I want? Why? Who am I becoming? Track patterns. Notice emotional triggers, recurring challenges, and victories. Journaling reveals trends and truth. Silence and solitude. Carve out time to disconnect from noise and reconnect with your inner compass. Relationships through the lens of the 3Cs. Whether familial, romantic, or platonic, relationships flourish with Stoic insight. Control. Don't control others. You can't force understanding, love, or behavior. Focus on how you show up. Expect imperfection. Everyone stumbles. Manage your expectations and extend grace. Respond with integrity. Even when hurt, act according to your principles. Courage. Have hard conversations. Speak your truth with compassion. Avoidance creates distance. Be vulnerable. Let others see the real you. Authenticity invites connection. Defend boundaries. Courage includes saying no when necessary. Clarity. Listen to understand. Suspend assumptions. Practice active listening. See beyond the surface. Understand others' motivations and pain. Clarify needs and expectations. Don't make others guess. Communicate openly. Family and parenting. Model the 3Cs for children and dependents. Practice patience. Control your temper. Make decisions with long-term courage. Teach by example and through calm dialogue. Friendship. Choose friends with shared virtues. Encourage each other's growth. Be present in joy and hardship. Romantic relationships. Build on shared values, not fleeting feelings. Don't expect completion from a partner. Bring your own wholeness. Practice forgiveness and accountability equally. Community and service. Use your gifts to serve others without ego. Participate in society as a wise citizen. Balance personal development with civic contribution. Conclusion: flourishing from the inside out. Personal development and relationships are two sides of the same coin. As you cultivate control, courage, and clarity within, you become a better partner, friend, leader, and citizen. Stoicism teaches us that the most meaningful change begins inside and ripples outward into every connection we touch. Next, we'll examine the common challenges faced on the Stoic path and how the 3Cs help us meet them with resilience and grace. Chapter 11: Challenges on the Stoic path and how to overcome them. Even the most committed Stoic faces obstacles. Mastering the 3S, control, courage, and clarity, does not exempt one from pain, doubt, or failure. Instead, it offers a framework for enduring and transcending these very difficulties. 1. Internal challenges. Impatience. Stoic change is slow. When growth feels invisible, remember, virtue is built one choice at a time. Practice detachment from results. Negative self-talk. We may judge ourselves harshly for not being stoic enough. Remind yourself that self-kindness is not weakness. Emotional flooding. It's natural to be overwhelmed. Use grounding tools, deep breathing, nature, meditation, to return to your center. How the 3Cs help. Control. Focus on your response, not your emotions. Courage. Own your struggles honestly. Clarity. Ask, what matters now? What's the lesson here? 2. External challenges. Toxic environments. Workplace drama, political instability, or family dysfunction can erode our equanimity. Loss and grief, death, illness, or disappointment tests our practice. Criticism and judgment. Others may not understand or support our values. Applying the 3Cs. Control. Let go of controlling outcomes or others. Maintain your inner posture. Courage. Stand firm in your values, even alone. Clarity. Know what's yours to carry and what isn't. 3. Relapse into old patterns. Change is non-linear. Falling back into anger, fear, or vanity does not negate progress. It highlights the work left to do. Recognize. Awareness is the first step. Catch the slip. Reflect. Ask what triggered the pattern. Recalibrate. Choose the next right action. Tools for overcoming setbacks. Journaling. Document moments of struggle and triumph. Stoic reflection. Review each day with honesty. Accountability partners. Practice with others who hold you to your highest self. Literature. Revisit Stoic texts when your resolve wanes. The myth of the perfect Stoic. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotion or achieving perfection. It's about moving through life with increasing wisdom, peace, and integrity. Struggle is part of the process. Resilience, through the 3Cs. Control. Limits anxiety by narrowing your focus to the possible. Courage. Builds strength through action. Clarity. Prevents confusion and self-deception. Conclusion. Strength in the struggle. Your challenges are not barriers, they are the training ground. The 3Cs are not abstractions, but tools forged in life's fire. Each setback is a chance to recommit. Each pain is a chance to practice. Each day is a fresh opportunity to live by Stoic virtue. In the next chapter, we will see how others, past and present, have embodied the 3Cs in real-world scenarios, giving us role models and inspiration for our own journey. Chapter 12. Case Studies of Historical and Modern Stoics. The principles of Stoicism have been lived, tested, and proven by individuals across centuries. From ancient philosophers to modern leaders, the 3Cs, control, courage, and clarity, have anchored the actions and decisions of people striving for a virtuous life. 1. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king. Control. As Roman emperor, Marcus faced war, betrayal, and plague. Yet, he consistently chose to rule with reason and restraint. His meditations reflect how he centered his control on his mind and responses. Courage. He bore the burdens of leadership without complaint, confronting mortality and chaos with poise. Clarity. His reflections reveal a deep understanding of life's impermanence and the importance of living with purpose. 2. Epictetus, from slave to sage. Control. Born into slavery, Epictetus had no control over his early life circumstances, but he mastered his mind and attitude, becoming one of Stoicism's greatest teachers. Courage. His teachings emphasize resilience in the face of powerlessness. He saw misfortune as a call to virtue. Clarity. He taught students to discern between the essential and the trivial, guiding them to inner freedom. 3. Seneca the Younger, Stoicism in the political arena. Control. As advisor to Nero, Seneca walked a tightrope of influence and survival. His writings reflect a man who strived for moral clarity while immersed in Roman politics. Courage. Despite his wealth, he urged detachment and prepared for exile and death without fear. Clarity. He frequently reflected on time, death, and the importance of living according to nature. 4. Admiral James Stockdale, Stoicism in Modern Warfare. Control. Captured during the Vietnam War, Stockdale relied on Epictetus's teachings. He knew he couldn't control his imprisonment, but he could control his conduct. Courage. Enduring 7 years of torture, he became a model of moral resistance. Clarity. He saw suffering as a forge for the soul, emerging stronger for having known pain and purpose. 5. Viktor Frankl, Finding Meaning Amid Suffering. Control. Though not a Stoic, Frankl's logotherapy echoes Stoic thought. In a concentration camp, he focused on choosing his attitude. Courage. He survived with dignity, finding meaning in suffering. Clarity. His belief that between stimulus and response lies freedom embodies Stoic clarity. 6. Nelson Mandela, The Power of Forgiveness. Control. Imprisoned for 27 years, Mandela emerged without bitterness. He mastered his anger and chose reconciliation. Courage. He risked everything for justice and equality. Clarity. His vision for South Africa was rooted in human dignity and unity. 7. Maya Angelou, Grace Under Pressure. Control. Angelou chose how she told her story, turning trauma into triumph. Courage. She confronted racism, abuse, and hardship with poetic strength. Clarity. Her writings distilled deep truths about identity, integrity, and resilience. Lessons from these lives. Control. Life brings chaos. Control lies in our response. Courage. Every great figure faced fear. They acted anyway. Clarity. Wisdom means seeing through illusion and distraction. Conclusion. Your life as a case study. The individuals above practice Stoicism not as theory, but as a way of living. Their lives, diverse in culture, context, and challenge, affirm that the 3 Cs transcend time. You too are writing your case study. How you meet adversity, lead with integrity, and think with clarity will define your legacy. In the final chapter, we'll bring the 3 Cs together one last time, looking at how they can form the compass for a meaningful life, moment by moment. Chapter 13, Conclusion, Living a Life Anchored in the 3 Cs. The Stoic path is not an abstract ideal, it is a deeply practical and grounded approach to life. Through the 3 Cs, control, courage, and clarity, you gain a timeless compass that helps you steer through adversity, uncertainty, and moral complexity. Control, letting go to gain mastery. Mastery begins when we stop trying to manage the uncontrollable. Focus only on what lies within your power, your thoughts, actions, and choices. This does not mean apathy, it means precision. Energy once wasted on outcomes and opinions is now channeled into presence and discipline. Control liberates us. It turns chaos into calm and distraction into direction. Each day offers countless opportunities to practice, whether it's resisting reactivity in conversation or choosing patience amid delay. Courage, taking the right action, despite fear. Courage is not fearlessness, it's acting well despite fear. Every moment of decision is a test. Will you do what is easy or what is right? The Stoic hero is not a warrior on a battlefield, but a parent, worker, friend, or citizen who chooses integrity when it costs something. Courage is the fuel that powers virtue. It makes honesty possible, loyalty enduring, and love profound. It is not grandiosity but quiet, daily resolve. When practiced consistently, courage becomes your character. Clarity, seeing with wisdom and purpose. Clarity removes the fog of emotion, bias, and ego. It reveals what matters, what is real, and what is good. In a noisy, complex world, clarity is peace. It comes from solitude, reflection, and honest inquiry. With clarity, you learn to distinguish signal from noise, need from want, truth from illusion. You become less reactive, more intentional. You are no longer lost in the narratives of others. You become the author of your own. Living the three Cs together. The true power of the three Cs lies not in isolation, but in integration. Control teaches focus. Courage demands action. Clarity ensures direction. Together they form a resilient, moral identity. A Stoic life is not defined by what happens to you, but by how you meet it, with composure, conviction, and vision. The journey forward. You are now equipped with tools that have endured for over 2 millennia. Whether you are facing loss, leading a team, raising a family, or seeking meaning, the 3 Cs can be your anchor. Let each sunrise be a chance to ask, what can I control? What courage is required of me? What clarity do I need to proceed? Let each evening be a chance to reflect. Did I act with intention? Was I true to my principles? What can I refine tomorrow? You are not alone on this path. From Epictetus to Angelou, from emperors to everyday individuals, you walk among those who chose the harder road, the road of virtue. Final thought. You do not need more time, you need more focus. You do not need less fear, you need more courage. You do not need more answers, you need more clarity. Master the 3 Cs, and you master the art of living. The journey begins and continues with a single Stoic choice. Final reflections. The Stoic legacy lives in you. As you close this book, remember, Stoicism is not just a philosophy to admire, it is a way of life to embody. You now carry the wisdom of ages in a form uniquely your own. When setbacks come, when fear whispers, when choices blur, return to the 3 Cs. They will guide you home to your values, your integrity, and your purpose. Let your actions be a living testament to control, your words a demonstration of courage, and your thoughts a beacon of clarity. The world doesn't need more noise, it needs more wisdom. By mastering the 3 Cs, you don't just live better, you help make life better for everyone around you. That is the Stoic way. Now go live it.